Welcome to another CoinTalk show, and let's start with 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏, which is absolutely exploding. And here's the main reason why. The top holders stopped selling. The top holders are not selling. They took some profits here, but now look, this is completely empty right here on the right. And that just means that the top holders don't want to sell their 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. You need a strong cult for coins to pump like this. Now, yesterday I did something I almost never do, which is I top blessed some at 24 mil, but I already sold a little bit past 30s, just a quick scalp. And I didn't put too much money because I was honestly scared of buying this when it was all just green. At some point, this thing will correct. Now, it almost touched 50 million. Usually when coins approach the 50 million market cap zone, they tend to correct. But we've already seen that 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏 is kind of different from the vast majority of other coins. So I'm just going to point out the most obvious levels where you could get good entries on 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. If we have an insanely bullish chart on 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏 and say tomorrow it pulls back a little bit, the first entry would be somewhere around 27 million market cap. Look, resistance twice and support once. The other level would be 20 million or 19.85 if you want to be more precise. Resistance once, resistance twice, and this would be another level to grab some more 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. And then the other two levels are options where you're going to see a more bearish 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏, which at this point, I don't know. I don't even know if the 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏 holders are gonna give us that good of an entry. Resistance here, it acted as support for quite a while in all these candles. This was major support. So I know we had some whales buy here at 15 million market cap. This to me would be the perfect entry. And then of course, in a worst case scenario, the perfect entry for 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏 would be around this level of 8 million market cap. Now what I'm gonna do is get to the 15-minute chart. When you look at these levels, you start seeing good scalp opportunities. And that's what I would do on this chart. I would just wait for the 15-minute chart to maybe touch this level or come close to it, enter, and then on a bounce, something like 33 million again, which could be a place of resistance. I would sell some here and get a very quick and fast 20%. And you can keep scalping these coins if you go even smaller on the 5-minute chart, etc. In here, these levels are even more clear. Look, a very strong support line. You can also draw on the 5-minute chart here some sort of uptrend, and maybe we can see on the 5-minute chart the price come to something like 30 million and it could be a good scalp. On 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏, my advice is I wouldn't be buying this close to 50 million market cap, but I think it's very important for us to keep an eye on it and definitely start accumulating it on entries at clear support and resistance line. Now let's get on to 𝗘𝗥. This is the type of chart that excites me because it went to almost 1 billion market cap and it's quite literally sitting at the most obvious support level, and this is the lowest support line possible. So this is a very attractive chart. It acted as support here. It acted as support again a couple of days. It acted as support around the 26th of September after this big accumulation here. Then it acted and bounced at support here on February. It also acted as support in March. It also acted as support in the end of March and is now acting as support again. So this is a clear support line on 𝗘𝗥. In charts like this, you can enter with a little bit more size. The next resistance line is going to be around 90 million market cap. If Bitcoin looks even stronger, the next resistance line is going to be around 150 million market cap. And after that, I would say 256 million market cap. So what are we looking at on 𝗘𝗥? A bounce to 90 million, some resistance, quite a lot of resistance actually. Look, this acted as a resistance for quite a few days here. It acted as resistance in the end of February and also in the beginning of March. So there's going to be some resistance at 90 million. But if it breaks through that, the next resistance line will be this previous support in October. It acted as support for quite a few days, almost a week. And then it acted as support for quite a few days here again in January and here in the end of January. And this is 150 million market cap. And then from there, you don't have a lot of resistance until 256 million market cap. If in the next few months we see a very bullish Bitcoin, it doesn't even need to be that bullish to be honest, but we have a run on memes, you could double your money here. You could get a 4x on 150 million market cap 𝗘𝗥, or you could get a 6 to 7x on your 250 million market cap. So these I think are the major resistance lines for 𝗘𝗥. And obviously if the price comes here, that just means Bitcoin is probably going into the 90s and the entire market started shifting. This might take a couple of months. And so from here, I don't think it's worth charting 𝗘𝗥 even more than this, but this is what I'm seeing on 𝗘𝗥. I think this is one of the best looking charts when it comes to meme coins. There's quite a little bit of liquidity here. This is the bottom support line. If this support line doesn't hold, it's not going to look good for 𝗘𝗥. But if it does, like it did countless other times, what we're looking at is potentially one of the best highly liquid memes in the market, which has also some of the best art. Now let's go on to 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 looks quite good. Look, support here, again, like I said previously here, and now it's bounced off of the support line. Again, I actually entered the position in 𝗏𝗏. It's looking quite good. I think the major resistance line is now 150 mil. This has so many listings that I think it can just go there quite fast. And you're still looking at a 2.3 to 2.2x. If you play it kind of conservatively and you think 𝗏𝗏 is going to do well in the next week or two, this is what we're looking at with 𝗏𝗏. Now let's get on to 𝗵𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗏. We have this channel here which acted as support quite a bunch of times. The price is currently sitting a little bit below what was previously support, now looks like resistance. And so 𝗵𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗏 needs to just pump a little bit higher, because if it doesn't, it's going to look quite weak. And so we do need to see a little bit of a harder push on 𝗵𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗏 here, because the chart doesn't look too good. If it does, then the next resistance line is going to be the 30 million market cap one, because it acted as resistance in August a bunch of times throughout October and also the end of September. Price got touched here a bunch of times as well. It also acted as support here in January. And then after the 30 million market cap zone, it's the 50 million market cap zone. And this would be the highest possible trade for 𝗵𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗏. But from where the price is currently at to 30 million market cap, we're talking at 85%. And to the next resistance line, we're talking at a 3x approximately. But the chart right now doesn't look too good. And the previous support is acting as resistance. So I do need to see 𝗵𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗏 be a little bit stronger to feel more comfortable entering here and writing this thing out. Then again, Fartcoin. I think Fartcoin is one of the best looking charts. I think Fartcoin is also leading the entire meme coin market. It's looking very strong, still bouncing from the support line. I think this day is going to be very important, the next day or two. Let's see if this week Fartcoin can come and approach this major resistance line, which is very close to 700 million market cap, which it already did once. If this line gets broken, yeah, we're definitely going to see a billion market cap. But the most important thing about Fartcoin is this is the leader. This is the meme coin leader. It is leading all the other meme coin charts for now. And this is the retail gauge. This is where you see if retail is interested or not in meme coins currently. Now 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏 has been in the headlines for quite a few days. It is now sitting at a clear support line. This is a good entry, I think, for 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏, because this acted as resistance quite a few times here, acted as support quite a few times here, acted as resistance again, and now this is clearly forming some type of support. If this support line doesn't hold, we're probably going to see a little bit of a more bearish 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏, maybe an entry at 25 million market cap. This would be even better if you're trying to accumulate your 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏. But if this acts as support, the next major resistance line is going to be 72 million market cap, which was just resistance a few days ago. It was also resistance in January. It was also resistance in October. It was also resistance in November. It was also support throughout the end of November, and it was also resistance in June. This is the next major level. Now, after 72 million market cap, I don't think that there's any major resistance, and the chart could go probably to new all-time highs in 200 million. But this level has to be broken. Once this gets broken, it's moon time for 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏, basically. And what you're looking at from here is, if you're looking at a bullish 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏, you're looking at almost doubling your money to the next major resistance line. And what you're looking at is a 5x to new all-time highs at 200 million market cap. And so I think things right now are looking good for 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗏. Then we have 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 on base, which is also doing very well. Currently sitting at another support line. Look, resistance 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then it acted as support a few days ago. If this support line holds, we're going to see a bounce to very likely new all-time highs at around 120 mil. If this support line doesn't hold, we're going to see 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 possibly come to 38. But I do think that this is a very likely support. This looks like a very strong place to start laying bets on 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 if you're bullish this meme. If this support line holds, we're looking at doubling your money. You get a 2x here, right at the next resistance line, which is very close to a new all-time high. Then if this gets broken, we would have to pull our fibs and see, does it go to 200 mil? Does it go to 250 mil? But for now, I'm not going to chart this too high because I don't think conditions are going to allow it just yet. But I do think it's possible for us to see another bounce on 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. And if you're looking for entries, look, it's not support. There's also this support trend line which matches the current support line. If it goes a little bit lower, a good entry would be something like 37 million market cap for 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗏. Now on to the next, DRB. There's not much to say on DRB. Look, support, and is now currently bouncing from the support line. And the price is just coiling up. Once it breaks through this, we're going straight to new all-time highs. That's what's going to happen with DRB. They have one of the craziest communities on Base, and that's what I think happens. Now, if the support line doesn't hold, we're definitely going to see much lower. Something like 3 million market cap is definitely possible for DRB. Now, 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗏 is now bouncing from support. Remember I said this is the major support line from 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙? Look. Resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, then acted as support, now acting as support again. What did I do? Let's get on Axiom. If we look here at 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙, look, I still have some more entries, some more limit orders set up for 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙. I already have quite a bit of 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙. This is my average entry to 12 million market cap. What I think happens is it's bouncing here from support, then it comes to something like 17 to 18 million. Look, support here again, a little bit of support here, almost resistance hit here. This 17.9 million market cap range, this is where 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 enters some resistance next, and then from there there's not much resistance until 27, 28 million market cap, very close to 30 million. And once this gets broken, I think 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 can see new all-time highs and go much higher. Every single friend of mine that knows nothing about crypto is posting 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 art on their Insta, etc. So I'm still kind of bullish 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙, and I think if it can break these two levels, it can be one of the biggest meme coins coming out from this current season in meme coins. I'm in 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙, I'm taking some bets. If it goes a little bit below 7 million market cap, I don't know, I might sell. On average, I'm still quite bullish 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙. Then we have another bet I took, which is a house. Remember yesterday I was saying, look, support line, this acted as support, this trend line got broken, and then what we saw is, look, resistance here, support, 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 and just as I've been predicting, this acted as support on house. As soon as I see the support line hold and a slight bounce, I enter. Because to me, is what the chart's saying is it's kind of safe to enter this trade. So I entered, and now house is pumping. I also have a good position here. This is my average entry, 2.67. And now I'm just gonna wait and let's see if house can bounce. Let's see how high house can go. I think this is one of the best memes along with 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗙𝗏 and 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗏. Then another meme that's looking quite good is Aura Farm. I think this is the only interesting meme when it comes to like TikTok and Instagram trends. The chart just looks amazing. It's just coiling, it's just going up and up and up, and the only thing I'm seeing here is higher lows being formed. I do have some entries, some limit order buys here layered a little bit lower. If they don't get triggered, I might have to buy this at 1 million market cap, but I'm just gonna wait a few hours, maybe another day, and see if my limit orders get triggered. But I think Aura Farm is very interesting, a bit of a more risky bet. I think it has potential to be up there with house, 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙, and some of these newer memes. So I did buy some. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the show. This is what I'm seeing in these charts. I hope you guys learned something. I hope I gave you great trade ideas if you're trading on Solana or on Base, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.